Every October, the Katmai National Park in Alaska holds a contest called Fat Bear Week that allows the public to vote for who they believe the fattest bear in Katmai is. The bears at that point in October, when the contest is held, have spent months increasing their body weight in order to survive winter hibernation. And so by October, the bears are quite adipostically gifted, I guess you could say. In theory, there should be a fun, lighthearted competition, not too serious, and about raising, awareness and interest in conservation. However, in practice, the past 3 Fat Bear Weeks have been riddled with drama and controversy. In 2022, Bear 435, nicknamed Holly, initially won the most votes, but an investigation by park officials led them to discover significant voter fraud, which, when corrected, caused Bear 747 to be revealed to be the actual winner. And then, next year, September 2023, one of the many webcams that was live streaming around Katmai captured a lost hiker who approached the webcam asking viewers for help, which allowed the lost hiker to be rescued by park rangers in just 3.5 hours. And I think we have a video here. You could see him approaching the webcam and in distress, looking pretty worse for wear, honestly. But he did get rescued within 3.5 hours, so good for him, I guess. This week's Fat Bear Week was no different. During the opening week, a male, Bear 469, nicknamed Patches, attacked a female, Bear 402, resulting in 402's death. And it was captured all on a live stream. It's unclear what started the initial conflict between the two bears, but it's clear something triggered some sort of predatory reaction in 469. I think we have a video here of the actual encounter between the two bears, somewhere around here. Something, triggered a predatory reaction once they started fighting in Bear 469, which prevented him from disengaging from the fight. It is unusual to see bears predate on other bears because of the immense energy expenditure that it takes to defeat a bear in a fight. But it does happen sometimes. 469 appears to have overpowered 402, causing her to drown. 469 is then seen dragging 402's body onto the shore, which you can see at about here. He drags her body onto shore, and afterwards, 469 dragged 402's body into the woods. I guess he tried to maybe hide it in sort of a food cache, but the most dominant bear in the area, 32 Chunk, took the carcass for himself, and that was that. Pretty horrific all around, and what a sight to witness on the webcam. I mean, it's pretty upsetting. Anyways, I'll leave this video in the description if you want a more in-depth look. The sound has commentary from naturalists from Katmai, so it's actually pretty interesting. While Fat Bear Week was postponed because of this by about a week, this year's Fat Bear was still chosen. And the public chose 128 Grazer, who won against 32 Chunk, excuse me. Here's 128 Grazer. The winner of this year's Fat Bear Week. That's a good fat bear if you ask me. So 128 Grazer won 70,000 votes compared to Chunk's 30,000 votes. And this is really interesting because last July, one of Grazer's cubs was actually killed by Chunk. She had cubs that were killed when 2 of her cubs fell over a waterfall and were swept downstream near where Chunk was. And Chunk, like I said earlier, he is the most dominant bear in the area. He attacked the 2 cubs, killing one in the process. But I guess Chunk got his comeuppance by losing Fat Bear Week. Yeah. Anyways, so that was Fat Bear Week, but I do have other bear-related news. The CDC recently released a report that detailed how last November, a gathering in North Carolina where at least 22 people ate undercooked bear meat caused at least 10 of those people to be infected with parasitic worms of the genus of the genus Trichinella. Most species of Trichinella larvae lives in the muscle tissue of animals such as bear, and when eaten by humans will travel to the intestines where it will burrow into the intestines to mature. I think I have a diagram here somewhere. Yeah, so they larvae embed themselves into the intestines. They mature. They release hundreds or thousands of larvae which permeate the lining of the intestines. And they make their way around the body via the bloodstream. And they find muscle tissue to burrow into. And they live in their hosts. They live off of their hosts, nutrients for months or even years, just waiting for the host to be eaten, to be passed on. And I think we do have pictures of Trichinella spiralis, which is a type of Trichinella. You could see here there's animal tissue that's infected with Trichinella. Here's some muscle tissue from a pig that's been infected. Yeah, despite that all sounding rather serious, it's actually rarely fatal. Many infections are even asymptomatic, so I guess that's good. Infections can also be treated by the antiparasitic drug albendazole, which many of the the affected family members were offered it. I think many found it expensive, so treatment was delayed. But that's America for you, I guess. That being said, I still recommend fully cooking wild bear meat, or even just maybe not eating bear meat at all. I prefer chicken myself. I did a similar story about a family reunion in South Dakota, which caused several people to get sick with trichinosis after eating undercooked bear meat. That was a different story. It seems like this happens more than I would have thought, though. But yeah, that was after the meat had been frozen for several months. I guess Trichinella can just survive frigid temperatures. Yeah, I'm going to pass on the wild bear meat. All of the sad bear news, kind of depressing bear news, I think it's time for some happy related bear news. And luckily I have some. A bear from a UK wildlife park named Boki, who had been suffering hydrocephalus, a buildup of fluid in the brain, which caused seizures and other health issues. He recently underwent a first of its kind for the UK brain surgery to drain some of the fluid from his brain. This is pretty awesome. And I guess the surgery went well. Boki is, quote, bright and alert and very mentally active post-op. And this article was saying how the surgeon that worked on this bear had previously become the first surgeon to perform a similar operation on a black bear in Asia. And that's a pretty awesome job to be a bear brain surgeon. For the past several weeks, at least since my last video, the world has been entranced by two celebrity zoo animals, which I want to talk about today. First, the baby pygmy hippopotamus Mudeng, who was born in July in the Khao Keo Open Zoo in Thailand. Pictures posted on the zoo's Facebook page went viral. Mudeng being noted to be more energetic and playful than the average hippo. I saw some sources refer to her as even sassy. I feel the need to remind everybody, however, that hippopotamuses, hippopotami, they're terrifying. They're surprisingly fast. Their mouths can crush humans, probably bite a human in half. A single hippo has even been seen fending off a pride of lions. Actually, hippos are one of the deadliest animals towards humans. At least hundreds of people are killed every year by hippos. Not animals to be messed with. And also, take this article, which I recently read, describing a viral video from a zoo in Indonesia, which is gross. Feel free to skip ahead to the next story. The video showed a hippo spinning its tail like a fan while relieving itself, flinging excrement onto horrified zoo visitors. And I think we do have the video here. My God. Yeah, I guess hippos spin their tails when they defecate to help rid themselves of leeches that live in their rectums, specifically to stop them from crawling, back in once they're expelled. Yeah. Are you grossed out enough yet? I'm not a huge fan of hippos, is the point. Of course, we have to talk about the other recently famous zoo animal, Pesto the penguin, from Sea Life Melbourne Aquarium, who went viral for being absurdly large. Last September, Pesto weighed in at 50 pounds, heavier than the average adult penguin, heavier than both of his adoptive penguin parents, Tango and Hudson, combined. Also at 90 centimeters tall, he's taller than either of his adoptive parents. One of the reasons that he's so big is the large size of his biological father, Blake. That's not a penguin name. That's a human name. Wait, no. Yeah. Anyways, Pesto's large size is also partially attributable to his healthy appetite, which allows him to eat up to 30 fish every day. Pesto was also recently visited separately by pop stars Katy Perry and Olivia Rodrigo. Well, I guess that's good for Pesto, I guess. And good for the aquarium, too. I imagine it's pretty exciting to have a famous animal that you could sell merchandise of. A woman from China recently pled guilty to attempting to smuggle 29 turtles from Vermont to Canada across a lake via kayak. She was arrested in an Airbnb before her schemes could materialize, but she was about to get in an inflatable kayak piloted by two men that had come from the Canadian side. One of the men believed to be her husband. Yeah, so the woman had with her a duffel bag with 29 eastern box turtles, it is a protected species. The intention was to sell the turtles to buyers in Hong Kong, where they are sold on the black market for $1,000 each. What's up with people buying weird-ass animals on the black market? I was wondering if people were buying turtles for pets, but I read this excerpt from a Los Angeles Times article. Spotted turtles and box turtles fetch up to $1,000 each on the black market in China, where they are in high demand because of their red and gold markings make them symbols of good fortune and status, and when eaten, sources of sexual prowess and cure for various ailments. Gross. Anyways, the woman faces up to 10 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000. That's like 250 turtles. Oh, and it's time for our last article of the week, which I'm really excited for because it's a really good article as usual. UK medical students recently discovered a deceased man who it turns out had 3 penises. The man's body, was donated to research, and the discovery was made during a cadaveric dissection. I guess it would have not been visible from the outside that the man had 3 penises. Like, there's a diagram here somewhere. Yeah. I guess doctors determined that these, masses in green and red were distinct, penile shafts. But yeah, he probably didn't even know that he had 3 penises when he was alive. It's been estimated that around 1 in 6 million male babies have diphallia, or 2 penises. But triphallia is even rarer and has only been detected once previously. But maybe it's not as rare as we once thought. Yeah, do you have 3 penises? Maybe. Maybe you do and you don't even know it. That's crazy. Well, yeah, that's it for this week. What a way to end it.